Hey guys, some info just came out on Lowriders Part 2, which is now definitely coming March 15th, 2016, or next week. I'm very excited for this, but the DLC could end up being a lot smaller than people originally thought. Evidently, originally there were supposed to be 2 weapons, an AK and a double barrel shotgun, which would be pretty cool. And tons of clothes as usual, probably hundreds to thousands of different clothing pieces, from shoes to shirts, but all that seems to be written off according to a pretty recent leak, and evidently now we're only getting 6 vehicles in an adversary mode. Pretty interested to see what the adversary mode is, because the ones that came out in Lowriders Part 1 were really fun. You had offense, defense, you had relay, couple others, and they were really fun and gave decent money. But if you remember, the original list for Lowriders Part 2 was the Faction 3, Minivan 2, Sabre GT 2, Slam Van 3, Tornado 5, and Virgo 2. The new list is the Sabre GT, the Rat Loader, the Minivan, the Slam Van, Tornado, and the Virgo. Now, something you will recognize, possibly, is that the Rat Loader was not originally on the list. I believe that it is replacing the faction, since it was already in Lowriders Part 1, so it'd be kind of weird to put it in both DLCs, and I'm personally quite interested to see what the minivan would look like, because the Vapid minivan in-game is exactly what you would think. It's a Ford minivan, and it's not the most appealing thing, but maybe you can do some crazy stuff to it, give it a sound system, or do something. I want to see what the hydraulics look like on it. But Sabre GT, that is an older muscle car. That one is going to be awesome to customize. The Slam Van is going to be very interesting, because there are multiple versions of this. There is a truck version, and this vehicle is very weird handling. It's one of the most difficult vehicles in the game to handle. But then there is a version that's almost an SUV, or like a truck with a cap on it, and I'm thinking that this, you might be able to choose which version you want and then do the various things to it. But I think it's going to be really interesting, because we haven't had a lowrider truck yet. Tornado 5, this one, I'm not really surprised. I mean, it's about the closest thing to a lowrider that came in the original game. The last car is the Virgo, which would be very similar to the Chino from Lowriders Part 1. They look, sound, and handle about the same, and I would expect their customization to reflect this. It is a lowrider, kind of exactly what you'd expect when you think lowrider, maybe even more than Tornado. This one came out with one of the ill-gotten gains updates, and it was the cheapest car available in that update, and it didn't really get used, which is a shame, because it's a cool car. But then Lowriders turned that around with the Chino. Hopefully it will do the same with the Virgo, and people will use it more. On the topic of adversary modes, I honestly have no idea what it'll be. The leakers haven't said anything, no other YouTubers have heard anything, and I guess we'll just find out later this week if Rockstar makes an announcement, or if they make it a surprise DLC like so many before it on Tuesday, March 15th. See ya.